Canada denounces Republican support for COVID protests.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ottawa, Ontario, Canada's public safety minister said Monday that U.S. officials should stay out of his country's domestic affairs, joining other Canadian leaders in pushing back against prominent Republicans who offered support for the protests of COVID-19 restrictions that have besieged downtown Ottawa for more than a week. The protests have also infuriated people who live around downtown, including neighbourhoods near Parliament Hill, the seat of the federal government. A truck convoy protest near the Ambassador Bridge, the busiest border crossing between Canada and the U.S., caused long traffic backups along the span from the Detroit side of the Detroit River. In Alaska, more than 100 truck drivers rallied in support of their counterparts in Canada by driving the 10 miles from Anchorage to Eagle River, the Anchorage Daily News reported. Many members of the GOP have made comments supporting the demonstrations, including former President Donald Trump, who called Trudeau a far-left lunatic who has destroyed Canada with insane COVID mandates. In a letter to Trudeau and the Public Safety Minister, Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson said, "What was initially described as a peaceful protest has now turned into a siege of our downtown area with 400 to 500 trucks." Ottawa police were investigating a fire at an apartment building that was apparently set by protesters.
This post received a score of 29,000, with an upvote ratio of 82%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Remember when Florida passed the law against protesting in the streets when Black Lives Matter protesters were doing this?
Or how conservatives were galled at people kneeling during the national anthem, because it was disrespectful and unpatriotic, but they're perfectly fine with people dancing on Canada's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Republicans tend to have a very black and white view when it comes to protest.
Remember when Republicans said locking down a town would ruin the local economy?
Remember when Republicans said a protester who blocked a street deserved to be run over?
Greater than remember when Republicans said a protester who blocked a street deserved to be run over? Remember when Republicans drove into protesters in cities across the country? Here's 104 examples. Don't forget the police officers that did exactly the same in their marked cruisers, or the thousands of others who posted their dreams of doing the same on social media.
Remember when Republicans introduced bills trying to protect people running over protesters?
Y'all can just start calling them fascists, they tick all of the boxes. They're a threat to national security much more so than any other U.S. domestic group. Edit, for the record, I'm not even a liberal. I'm a socialist. Fuck simping for corporate religions. PSA, big wealth builds fascism for their own ends. It's easier to control one joystick than an entire people.
Foreign-funded propaganda.
I really wonder how much of the GoFundMe is actually coming from Repub agents trying to drag us into chaos with them.
More than 1,000 donation, all identical 10K or 25K from anonymous donors outside Canada. That's why GoFundMe was called before the Common Standing Committee on Public Safety and National Security.
All of the GoFundMe donations were returned, weren't they? I thought I read that last week.
Why are these Republican, globalists, interfering in Canadian politics?
Foreign influence in Canada is a major issue, and the largest perpetuator is the USA.
Especially since we sell them a lot of their natural resources. Something like a third of American crude comes from us.
In the US, their support would just be a shrug for most people, but American Republicans are thought of much more harshly outside the US, so that's not really a good endorsement for a Canadian movement.
Wouldn't you want to know how much of that GoFundMe money is from the US?
I suspect most of it was foreign funds. The Humboldt Broncos crash victims raised $12 million, and that was an event with broad public support. The convoy did not enjoy that kind of broad Canadian public support. GoFundMe was called to a parliamentary committee to testify regarding the fundraiser, and likely part of the discussion was about foreign contributions. Given that DeSantis in Florida, Donald Trump Jr., and West Virginia and Louisiana attorneys general spoke about investigating GoFundMe, and not any Canadian politicians, suggests that most of the money was American.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.